Welcome to the 11th module. So far we have covered what is machine learning, what is deep learning. Now it's the time for us to go beyond these metrics. We need to understand the clinical utility and the outcome. We need to pay the action, what you learn and what you do. To take us through this journey, we have two eminent speakers with us. Dr. Kiran Avancha is a dynamic leader in healthcare and biotechnology, bringing 20 years of expertise spanning healthcare operations, biotech operations, corporate ventures, clinical innovation, entrepreneurship, and business strategy. His career is distinguished by a commitment to driving innovation through drug development, clinical and translational research, healthcare research, medical device development, and breakthrough product strategies. So he's a guy who uses AI to its best, and he is currently serving as Chief Innovative Officer at HonorHealth in US. The other speaker is Dr. Kamala Avancha, who is the Executive Director of Technology Innovation at ASU Educational Outreach and Student Services. She is driving the digital transformation and scalable technology innovation at ASU. The focus extends beyond adopting new tools to fundamentally rethinking how human-centric systems operate at scale. This expertise in bridging complex technology with human application provides a critical lens for analyzing AI development in high-stake clinical environment like how we practice. Dr. Kiran, welcome, sir. And Dr.
Thank you.
Kamala,
Thank you
welcome.
very much for that.
How are you going to take us through? Just please let our audience know on two different aspects. Why is it important and what are you going to teach us?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the kind introduction, Dr. Atali. So from a clinical utility and metrics, I think this is the topic for the day, beyond the clinical utility and metrics. So I come from a pretty large health system right here in the state of Arizona. I'll tell more about our health system and the experiences that we have gone through in identifying our own opportunities as well as problems within the system, health system itself, that we determined to utilize using AI to solve some of these challenges. The simple aspect of using AI in healthcare is whether AI will be used or not. It's the question of how and when and what type of applications and tools are currently in utilization and currently in validation within the health systems. And how is it that each of those applications or tools are augmenting the workflow for our very own clinicians? So what is it from our return on investment of these applications for clinicians? What is the return on these investment of these applications to our employees in general, as well as we got to take into consideration how is it that those applications are being helping our patients at large. So if any of these AI tools, if they are not specifically achieving any of these three important aspects, whether it's the patient focus, or whether it is the employee focus or physician focus, then there is no point in implementing these newly developed technologies. So I think the lecture will take us through various aspects in use cases of applications within the health system, whether it's directly involved in the patient care aspects or increasing the operational efficiencies as such, or clinical utility in general. You know, how does each of those bring in lesser chaos on a particular given day using some of these applications, because we all have limited resources. We can't produce enough physicians, enough nurses, and at the speed with which our consumers are demanding the healthcare services. So AI as an application itself, as you alluded to, it had its own origins from various industries as such. In healthcare in particular, it's unlike how it's originated in different industries. Healthcare has to develop its own fundamental models that are very much relevant with that can work within the walls of the health systems itself to bring in the outcomes, desired outcomes that we have designed to specifically, because you can't specifically go out and search for an outcome after you apply an application. You have to design a specific outcome that you really are looking to, and then build an AI application based off this. And that's where HonorHealth's experience of will be shared in the lecture. And I'll hand it off back to you, Dr. Atali.
Thank you, Dr. Kiran. That's very interesting. Dr. Kamala, you are into the education, you are into the research. You please let us know, why is it important for the doctors? There are 68,000 registered doctors by this program across India, starting from the first year specialty training residents to 40 years plus experienced people. It's a very vast set of people. Every time, thousands of them are watching. So please let us know, why is it important?
Definitely, Dr. Atali, and like Dr. Avancha mentioned, it's AI actually, and I come from the Arizona State University. I'm the Executive Director of Technology at Arizona State University, which is #1 in innovation across the US for 10 years in a row. And we're one of the largest universities in the US, serving about 150,000 plus students every day. So and there is a lot of research and education focus that we have in our day-to-day AI usage. But the reason why we're doing this for the doctors today is, while AI is a buzzword these days, the one thing that is important is to make sure how AI is being utilized is accurately done, and is patient focused and human-centric. That's where our focus is, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how ASU is implementing this AI for our clinical student health practice within ASU today. I can go over that now, Dr. Okay. So while we've utilized it for several educational scenarios, the one thing that I want to highlight that we're utilizing it is for reducing the administrative burden for our physicians, where majority of our physicians right now, they not only just see the patient, diagnose the case, they also spend a significant amount of time in documenting the notes and the visit notes every single day. And sometimes if they're back-to-back visits, they end up in doing this during their personal time. So we want to reduce that burden using AI. And that's where our ambient listening AI is brought into picture. And and I'm going to talk a little bit about that, as well as our future ideas of how then we can further reduce the amount of administrative burden on our physicians so they can focus on the patient care majority of the time. And that to me, I think I'm looking forward to this conversation.
So it's going to be a very interesting topic. So stay tuned. We are going to come back with a live session this Wednesday, that is 8th of April, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. in India. Welcome, Dr. Kiran, and welcome, Dr. Kamala, for the NBS program. And thank you for